The final chapter, what happened to the Griffiths family. Thanks to you, no story will be left behind. Over the last few sessions, you've explored the story of one wartime family, the Griffiths family of Barry, Glamorganshire. And now it's time to bring their story to a close with one last part of our special No Story Left Behind challenge. We'll be using more of Find My Past records to discover this, including the 1921 census of England and Wales, which gives us a snapshot of the population only a few years after the First World War. Let's delve in. Remember, you can pause this video as you go and do each part of the challenge at your own pace. First, we're going to try to find out why Edna's marriage to Reginald Hook broke down. We learned in session 2 that they married in 1924. But as we saw in session 3, in 1939, she was shown as separated from her husband on the 1939 register. We're going to use the newspapers to discover what might have happened. Open the newspaper search and add Reginald Hook as the name and Glamorgan as the county. If we scan the results, we see an article from the Western Mail dated 31 July 1930. If we open to read it in full, we see that Reginald was, quote, summoned at the local court on Wednesday for deserting his wife and child, denied the allegations of cruelty made by his wife, who was granted an order of 25 shillings a week with 7 shillings 6 pence for the child, end quote. This is 4 years after their marriage and 3 years after the birth of their daughter. By using newspapers and the 1939 register, we've got a better idea of how the relationship struggled. Next, we're going to find one of the soldier brothers in the 1921 census and see what he was doing in the few years following his wartime service. Add Ernest Evan Quinton Griffiths into the first and last name fields and a year of birth of 1893. We find Quinton living in Kensington in London. He's married to a woman named Elizabeth who was born in Kent, and he's working as a technical assistant for the Office of Works at Storey's Gate. Take a moment to see if you can discover the other siblings in the 1921 census. Finally, we learned in session 1 that Reginald Stanley Griffiths was awarded the Military Cross during the First World War. Now, as the final part of the challenge, it's time to find out why he was awarded this great honor. Navigate to the search page and add in the name Reginald Stanley Griffiths. There are several results for him, but we want the London Gazette 1665 to 2018 for the year 1918. When we open the original image, we discover that Reginald was awarded the Military Cross for, quote, conspicuous gallantry and devotion to duty. He worked for several nights under heavy shell fire at the construction of a tramway line. It was due to his skill that a large number of wounded were evacuated by this line, though it was frequently damaged by shell fire, end quote. By using military records and this Gazette record, we've learned that Reginald Griffiths was an incredibly brave young man. No doubt his family were very proud of him. It's been an incredible journey into the Griffiths family story over the last 4 sessions. After exploring it for yourself, which discovery has stayed with you the most? Why? Which of these lessons do you want to apply to your own family history? We've learned that David and Sarah Griffiths gave not 5 but 7 sons in service to king and country during the course of the First World War. We've learned how one of them didn't make it home, how 2 were commended for their outstanding bravery, how they rebuilt their lives in the shadow of war only to do their duties once more on the home front, how the sisters carved their own path after watching their brothers march off to Europe. I feel like we know them better now. The Griffiths family are more than just names on a census record. They are living, breathing characters in the history of our country. We hope you'll now be more confident to research forgotten soldiers and wartime women in your own family tree and ensure that no story will be left behind.